Hello, everyone. Hey, and welcome to this series of Faces of Ace Your Econs. My name is Jeffrey, and I'm the Chief Educator of Ace Your Econs. Faces of Ace Your Econs is a community event we have established last year to support our current students to cope with A-levels through interviews with our ex-graduates on how they manage to cope with theirs. These ex-graduates will also be sharing career guidance tips and course selection tips in university. So to parents and students watching this live event, please help to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can receive latest update on upcoming events. Please also help to share this live event with your friends, family, colleagues, so they can benefit with the collective wisdom from our ex-graduates. Okay, so today we have, let me take a look at Gwen. Today we have Gwendolyn Ser with us. She was from the batch of 18 and 19, 2018 and 19, and formerly from Hwa Chong Institution. She's currently studying at SMU Accountancy. So a fun fact that nobody knows about Gwen is she is addicted to grocery shopping. Wow. Why is that so? I'm just curious. I didn't know that part about you.
Okay. I'm not addicted to grocery shopping. I just like to grocery shop. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, ever since the circuit breaker, then I always help. Yeah.
So do you order online or you?
No. Like go to NTUC and buy stuff. Then I like to compare prices.
Oh, serious? I
Yeah.
thought people will be buying. Oh, so you belong to the old school of.
Yeah, correct. And then like in the morning, like newspapers, right? Then
Yeah.
like I'll sit like down in the dining table with my grandmother to like see the advertisements for like the offers they have on like NTUC and like Sheng Siong and Giant, that kind.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's pretty good insights. Okay, so for those who is into grocery shopping, okay, Gwen is the best person to look at, and that probably explains your career choice or your choice of your course, right?
Okay lah.
To SMU Accountancy later. Maybe that explains. I don't know. To compare costs, that kind of thing. Okay, so today we have Gwen. Welcome on board. Okay, so for the viewers out there, okay, if you have any questions for Gwen, okay, SMU Accountancy or her experience in JC, okay, please hit the comment button and we will get back to you in a while. Okay, so now Gwen, I would like to ask you, okay, as a start, I don't know, it was 2018 or 19, right? So I hope it wasn't too distant back. It's so I would like you to share with our audience, okay, how's your JC journey? Okay, what are some of the wins and what are some of the lows, what are some of the highs and lows in your JC journey?
Okay, I think like for highs and lows, I wouldn't really say that it's a particular point in time, but like for example, for the highs, I would like to think that like the friends that I made in JC was like it really made life there much more enjoyable. So in my classmates and even like my CCA mates, yeah. So after school and stuff, we were always like my close friends and I will always study together. So I think that really helped in like giving each other motivation to like do better and also to keep up with studying and like try not to burn out and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Buddy system, accountability system. Okay.
Right.
So it is the friendship that you have made that you can conclude that that's the highlights of your JC journey. Okay. So what about the low part or or looking back, okay, that you were quite
I think the lows will definitely like materialistically will definitely be great because especially when you enter JC, the jump from secondary school to JC is very big. So definitely within the first year or even in year 2, there's always bound to be like disappointments lah. So the lows for my end will definitely be like studying hard but not seeing the results come to fulfillment. Yeah, and then it really like affects your mindset and mentality to think about whether you are like what's wrong with you lah. Yeah, so that's one of the lows that I experienced.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, you were from the IP side, right? with Nanyang
Correct.
Girls. And so maybe just how you brought up the transition from secondary school to JC. So I think it's quite timely because the O-level results were released today.
Yeah,
So
just
I
today.
know, yeah. So I think IP students they're remotely concerned about O levels, but are there any things that you want to share about with the adjustment process from, let's say, IP to JC?
IP to JC or secondary school in general?
Secondary school. Sorry, what am I talking about?
Oh,
Year 4. Okay, year 4 to year 5. And I think that's a more precise term to use, right? Yeah.
I think the switch between secondary school and JC, is bound to be big. There's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be a very, very steep learning curve. So what I would say to those that are coming to JC is to definitely don't want to like fall leng shui or anything, but like there are bound to be failures. But what you need to do is to just always learn from mistakes, because as much as we want to do well, right, in JC, and especially for the A levels, I think for this transition, making mistakes is fine. Like you just make your mistakes and learn from it, and then from there on you improve further. Yeah, they always say like J1, what you need to look forward, like your goal is to just promote to J2, and then even if you don't really can't really do well in JC, like generally, right, you still need to work towards the A levels. That will be your ultimate goal. So I think you can use the experience in JC as a learning curve. Yeah.
Okay. So long story short is don't give up, okay? Because you sign up for this 2-year contract, make sure you fulfill that. Right? Okay.
There's
Great.
nothing
Thanks,
that's
man.
perfect, yeah.
Yeah. So long as you deliver the contract by the end, with finishing the A levels, okay, giving your best. I think that's part of the journey. Okay, thanks, Gwen, for sharing. Okay, so for the year ones or the year twos out there, okay, if you have any things that resonate with you, okay, you'd like to share, okay, you can click on the comment button, okay, and we will get back to you in a while. So Gwen, okay, and because this is also very very timely, okay, so subject combi. Okay, so for the IP side, your subject combi has been determined, is it, since year 4, or you will proceed to JC to decide?
No, so we'll go to JC to choose also.
Okay, that's interesting. So yes, okay, so what subject combi did you pick?
I took BCME, so
Or
biochem and
bio?
econs. Yeah,
4H2s.
for my school, yeah, we had to do 4H2s.
Oh yes. Doing
Yeah,
3 is
then
quite
plus
weird.
GP theory. Yeah,
Okay. So
yeah.
I would just like to ask, okay, having 4H2s and BCME, is a very peculiar combination, because normally I hear it, what I get is PCME, right?
Oh,
So why?
actually, actually BCME and PCME are the more common science streams.
Okay.
Yeah, correct. Then
So why B? Why not P? You don't like P, is it?
oh, okay. So right, it's a very funny story. So okay, it's not really very funny. I think maybe more people will resonate with this. Basically, like in secondary school, I wanted to do medicine, like in JC, in uni.
Ah,
Yeah.
oh,
So it was a
interesting.
typical want to go and be doctor, medicine type of student. That was me. Then I was also quite interested in the bio part of the medicine lah. So
Okay.
that's why I chose science stream and then bio. And plus I think in secondary school, when I studied physics, I was really mugging my brains out just to make sure that I don't take it anymore. Yeah. So I didn't like
Okay.
physics at all. I didn't understand it and I didn't like it. So I just cram everything in my head and then I regurgitate during my final exams in Sec 4. And then after that paper ended, I was like, nope, I'm not going to take any physics from the papers anymore. So then I chose bio. Yeah.
Interesting.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. So because you're more inclined to B lah, not P lah, and yes, that's a science combination. No choice. It's either B or P lah, right? You have to pick the.
I think the contrasting can be something else also lah. Like I don't take econs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, and coincidentally, because right now it's the O level results release. So I would just like to hear from you because this year there's a record high of students going to poly. I don't know whether you saw the
The
article.
newspaper this morning. Yeah.
Exactly. So what is your take on this? I'd just like to pick your brain as well one of our our young future generation. At your time, have you ever considered to venture to poly? I don't think the option is open to you, right? Because you were
Yeah.
in
Yeah. For me, it was like a sad choice once I made a choice to enter Nanyang in primary school.
Are there anyone
Yeah.
that opt for O levels in the Sec 4 track and then go on to poly? Is it common?
I do hear people who do that lah. Yeah. Like they change to O level route and then they take the O levels and then go to another
Poly lah.
JC or go to poly.
Okay, okay. So long as you're stuck in the Nanyang route, that you will have to go to Hwa Chong no matter what lah.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay, so for the viewers out there, yes, okay, there's a record amount of people going to poly lah. So unfortunately, Gwen is not able to share insights on this because she was stuck in the IP route. But
Yeah, but
okay,
I think
if you were to make a choice now, lah, okay, on hindsight, okay, if you have a choice to go to JC or poly, what would you do? I'm just curious, since it's quite fun to hear this.
I think for me, like based on my personality, I would feel that JC is more suited for me.
It's so
Yeah.
more personality driven. Okay, why is that so?
Yeah. Because I think for JC it's really about like studying and working hard. Like back when I was in Sec 4, I didn't think I would have the maturity to understand like life skills like that were taught in poly and stuff. And also I didn't know what I would want to do in poly. So I think if you have a clear idea of what you want to do in future or as a career, right, poly will be a good chance also. And then plus like now that I'm in uni, I do meet a lot like quite a bit of poly students lah. And they but like whatever they learn in poly is quite useful because I do see it reflect in like the way they do presentations. They are very confident, they're very outspoken. Yeah, so I think that's a good thing about poly as well. It really trains you lah, and then it's a good avenue for you to expand more on your interests if you know what you
Very
want to do.
vocal lah. They can articulate better than
Correct.
the JC route. Okay. I thought
Yeah.
PW should have adequately trained you in presentation skills. Apparently not so lah, is it?
Not as much like because PW is just a one-time presentation. You just prepare your script for that few minutes you're speaking and you're done for that subject. Yeah.
Okay. So thanks Gwen for sharing. So Gwen's choice is BCME. Okay, so it is a fairly common choice. Okay, if you were to enter medicine, if you want to choose enter medicine, it's P or B lah. Okay, so for those medicine wannabes, okay, this is the most optimum choice of combination that you should pick. Okay, so Gwen, I'll be moving on. So what is your current course that you are doing? I know career is a little bit too soon, yeah, but yeah.
I'm currently studying accountancy in SMU and I'm entering semester 2 of year 1. Like
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have some privileged knowledge. So Gwen is actually pursuing a double degree, right? Accountancy and business. Okay, so maybe you'll want to share with our audience out there who's listening. Why do you pick this specific choice of course and double degree some more and putting on more responsibility?
Okay, so for me, I think just now I mentioned that I wanted to study medicine at first, right?
Yep.
Then I think after I attended like open house last year and studying for bio in JC, right, I felt that I don't think I was suited to pursue this path anymore because like I think I felt a lot of like, burnt out studying like for this kind of subject. Yeah. Then I was like, maybe not lah. It's just something that like most probably is something that I wanted to pursue because of the prestige, like saving lives. helping people. Yeah, so in terms of the like long run, definitely might not be a career for me lah. And then because of that, I was like, after I found out that I wasn't interested in medicine at all, I was very lost, definitely. So
Okay.
what I fell back on was was what I wanted, like my interests and maybe part of what I'm good at also.
Oh, interesting, right?
Yeah. So
Okay. So
for me, I'm quite interested in like numbers and analysis
numbers.
of it.
Oh,
Yeah, correct.
okay. So I understand that also family background, right? Your parents are also into numbers, is it?
Not really lah. My parents are more IT based.
IT. Okay,
IT.
okay.
Yeah.
IT. So numbers. So this passion was since when you discovered that you like numbers?
I think like since young I was more proficient in like numbers stuff, numbers related stuff. I was never good in languages and everything, all the humanities. I really sucked at it. Yeah. Math,
Math is your strongest subject, like, am I going to assume
yeah,
that?
correct. Like even in primary school, so I really like to do math.
Okay, okay. Cool. We'll talk more about the career choice in a short while, okay, and
Mm.
your experience in SMU. Okay, so before I get Gwen to share her most memorable moment with us, okay, I'll just like to task our target audience, okay, if you have any questions for us, okay, please drop us a comment. Okay, if not, okay, please hit the share button and share this collective wisdom with your best friend, okay, whoever that's sitting in for A levels or going to JC1 next year. Okay, so now back to here. Okay, just in case somebody claims that Gwen, okay, and me were not remotely related. Okay, this is evidence that Gwen, you look so different back then, man.
Yeah.
You you look way too skinny back then. Was it? I I don't know. Okay, but
Maybe
maybe
from the stress from JC lah. Just the
okay.
stress.
Okay. So, Gwen, would you like to share? Okay, what was your most memorable moment with me, with your experience in AYE?
Memorable lah. I think
It
definitely
can be
was
good or bad, lah. That's up to you.
good lah. I will say good ones. The definitely was the last lesson where we ate like sushi.
Sushi. So the earlier lessons, no sushi, no go.
Earlier lessons was focused on studying, so not really very fun lah.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will see how I can implement more of these. What do you call it? Ice breaking activities. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for sharing. If later got a chance, I will share the sushi picture. Okay. So lastly, okay, how do you do for your A levels? Would you like to share with all our target audience?
My grades, right?
Yeah. Overall, how do you do? Okay.
Overall, I got 87.5 rank points. So my GP and Chem were B. Yeah.
Okay.
The rest were A. Yeah.
Yeah, what a shame, right? If not, you could have qualified for a medicine interview.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah, one grade shy, one grade shy. Okay,
Yeah.
so Gwen will be sharing with us in that, okay, on the 3 tips that how she has used or leverage to cope with her A levels. Okay, so for people who's watching, okay, if you have any questions specifically on A levels, this is the best time to ask. So Gwen, okay, what is the first tip that you have for your juniors out here, okay, who is going to face A levels or promos next this year? This year.
Okay, so my first tip is called consistency is key. Yeah.
Okay, consistency is key. Okay, so maybe you want to
Correct.
share about that.
Yeah, okay. So for this consistency part, I would want to focus it more on like the way you study and like
Where
your
you study.
mindset towards studying. Yeah. So I think that for in terms of consistency is that you need to make sure that you're always on the ball lah. Make sure you don't play a game of catch up in school. So always be prepared for like lectures. Even after your lectures, you try to reread the notes so that you will refresh your mind, and it's better for digesting the content you learn as well. And then as for tutorials, even in JC, you have to be prepared for it lah. You make sure you do your tutorials so that you really can understand, because if not, like I know of people who don't prepare for lectures or tutorials, and then they'll struggle to understand the content. Yeah, so consistency is key. And then what I normally do back in JC is that I'll make sure I'll finish all my work like at least 1 or 2 days before the lecture or tutorial itself. I really try. Yeah, then um eventually you will start to have a habit, like there's a routine that you normally follow, because your timetable, like in a week basis, is fixed ma. So normally, like on Monday afternoons, you'll most probably be studying the same thing every week. Like eventually you'll become a habit lah. So that's what I meant by consistency is key. So you just need to make sure you follow a routine for each subject, preparing for the lecture beforehand, and then post lecture you start to do a revision, then you start to prepare for your tutorials, do practices, and then eventually you become a habit. Yeah, so that was what I meant by consistency is key.
Okay, so it's like habit formation. Okay, so it takes like going through the routine over and over again, okay, of at least 30 days to form a good habit or a bad habit.
Yeah, and then I think this also applies in like uni or not even in JC. I think studying in general, you can apply like consistency is key. Yeah, plus it rhymes, so I think it's easy for you to remember also.
Consistency is key. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gwen, I just like to ask, because based on my experience coaching, so sometimes students say that they try to follow a rhythm, try to follow a routine, try to be consistent, but they somehow lack the willpower to follow through. So halfway, then they, battery flat out, then they will just go Instagram, YouTube, do whatever to distract themselves. Have you encountered such instances before? Or are there any tips that you can share on how to overcome this?
I think definitely lah. There's always bound to be like the period of time where you feel restless. Yeah, I also have these bouts of moments where I just like I can even find joy by staring into space and just not study until sian. Yeah. So for these kinds of issues, right, what I would normally do is to just give myself like a 20 or 30-minute break just to do whatever I want to do, and then after that really force myself back to get back into the rhythm. And then I think the next follow-up question will be like, how do you force yourself back into the rhythm?
Okay, yeah.
That's what I know. Like I force myself back into the rhythm. But what I normally do is to set alarms and timers. Like I have a lot of alarms and timers on my phone. Like I think if you ask me, right, every 5 minutes of the day there's always an alarm. Yeah, I didn't delete it from A levels timing. Yeah. So I normally set alarms, and then I think another portion is also that fear, it can be quite a good motivator.
Using fear.
I use fear on myself. So I'll be like, if you don't study, then if you don't get back to like the grind, like what I always tell myself, you don't get back to the grind, you never be able to finish what you need to do. And then after that you start to accumulate, and then like if you want to see yourself like not do well, you need to at least since you've already been studying so hard, why not just give yourself another push to 对得起自己啦. Yeah, you don't make all your studying and all the mugging and everything go to waste just because of that one break. Yeah, so that one break is just a reward for yourself for having done come this far. Yeah.
Okay, so am I right to sum up that it's very important to know when it's your threshold and when to take break, right? Okay, and also I think the thing that you talk about timers, is quite consistent with our very first interviewee, Rohit. He actually shared about the Porodomo timer, the 25 minutes. Yeah. So to the viewers out there, you can consider using this tip to push yourself for consistency, building a routine, and cultivating good habits. Okay, and FYI, it's not that I want to praise Gwen, okay, but on the air, I'll make it official. Gwen is officially one of the most driven. If there's a term that I would like to describe, it's called hardcore hardcore student that I've met in my entire career of teaching. Yeah, so so if you want to find out definition for hardcore, okay, meaning to say, I don't think I've taken any sick leave or any absent. Okay, so not only that, she will participate in all the J1 classes. Okay, and she will for her revision, and she will also participate in all the holiday programs. So this is what I mean by consistency. And not only that, okay, her homework submission is 100%. Okay, I haven't seen any 100% before. Yeah, so it's only that few that actually submit everything. Okay, so yes, okay, I think this sharing is very consistent with your tip. Consistency is key. Okay, so for the viewers out there, especially for our AYE current students, okay, this is how you want to build consistency. Okay, so Gwen is a very good example. Okay, next, what is your next tip that you have with us, Gwen?
My next tip will be to focus on learning objectives.
Right, so learning objectives. Okay, so maybe I'm going to elaborate on this a little bit.
Okay, so I think in terms of studying for your different subjects, right? I'm not sure about the other schools, but for my school, on the very first page of all my lecture books, they always have a learning objective. I think in general, all the A-level subjects, they have a learning objective, a whole list of learning objectives. So I've like this tip was especially useful to me in year 2. I only found out, like I only start to realize that this was so useful in JC2. Yeah. So for this tip is just more of like you just need to make sure that you understand or you know how to answer what the learning objectives wants you to answer, because actually the learning objectives will come out in the exams in the form of the questions lah. Yeah. So
I understand that school notes, the first page will always have all the table of summary, right? What are the topics that will be covered? And after that,
learning objectives. I think even if the school notes don't have it, right, you can find it on the MOE website.
Oh, SEAB, right? The school examination exam board.
I recall, yeah.
Okay, so for the viewers out there, don't worry, okay, I will drop a link of the SEAB website. Okay, so yes, okay, like what Gwen has mentioned, everything is spelled out correctly already. So knowing what to solve is very important. Okay, and having the resource of SEAB is even more important. Are there anything else that you'd like to share about learning objectives?
Yeah, so I think this is especially useful for all the subjects with like much more content. Especially like it was very, very useful when I was studying bio and chem. Yeah. So initially, yeah, correct. So for bio, I really struggled to do well or even like pass bio in JC. Yeah. So it was a struggle. It was a really, really big struggle because first you have to memorize the content. Then after that, you need to know how to apply the content in the questions. So for bio, how I will try to do my notes for bio is to go to match it according to the learning objectives. So because bio there's really too much content. There's 8 of content, right? So you have to really break down your learning, and then from there on, you just make sure, because you have no time also. Before the exam, like especially towards the A-levels, there's no time for you to flip through all your don't know how many pages worth of bio notes. So what you have to do is to condense it based on the learning objectives, and you have to just trust that whatever that will come out for the exam is from the learning objective, because MOE or SEAB won't try to sabo you. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So like in the very unfortunate case where you think that something that is not from the learning objective comes out, right, it's most probably just based on your application skills already. Yeah, they're not so cruel to come and test you things that you don't know or you have never learned.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Everything tested will be in line, right?
Correct.
Okay, so for the viewers out there, very important to get in tune, with what the SEAB is testing you. Okay, so all you need to is to Google SEAB, Singapore Examination Board, I believe. Okay, Singapore Examination Access Board, Assessment Board. Okay, and you can actually download the PDF. Okay, make sure you know your course code. Okay, the 4-digit course code. Yeah, so I do know of students who get the 4-digit course code wrong and download the wrong thing, that you can learn the wrong outcome, wrong learning objective. So make sure you get the right course code. Okay, so for Econs is 9757. Okay, so that's for H2 Econs. H1 Econs at the moment I can't recall. I think 823, I think. Okay. Occupational hazard. Okay, but anyway, let's move on to the third. Okay, so Gwen, what do you have for us for the third one? Third tip.
The third tip I have is called hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you have for that?
I think this one is more towards like your mindset
Okay.
for this entire marathon, your 2-year marathon. Hope for the best,
Alright.
prepare for the worst. Yeah, so this month, like I really like rely back a lot on this, like hope for the best, prepare for the worst things, because that first you hope for the best, then it just gives you hope, motivation to continue studying more, and then prepare for the worst. You go back to my point on using fear as a motivator. So if essentially this entire phrase is to align your mindset to such that you have to just try your best, just work hard, just tahan for the 2 years, and then it will be over soon. Yes.
Wow. I mean, so for what is your advice for people who wants to give up? And for instance, they experience burnout, okay, and they lost all sense of hope. I believe when you're closing to A levels, you have seen students, your peers, some of them burning out, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Burnout is very common.
Oh, so what is your advice for such people who
I think
initially wanted to hope for the best, but they didn't have the stamina to to last through the whole race?
I think apart from the lack of stamina, if you constantly do poorly or not as well as you expect, then you also feel like giving up. And for like in general, for people who feel like giving up, I would want to say that you didn't work so hard for so long
Mm,
just for you to give up towards the end. Like it's
mm.
not worth it. You need to make it up to yourself, since you've
Yeah.
already it's a sunk cost already. Since
Sunk cost. Wow.
since
Sunk
you've
cost
already worked so
fallacy.
hard, why not just push a little bit more lah? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's a lot about framing, okay, the destination. Okay, so how long more towards the destination, or how much you have completed. Okay, so yeah, if you're only 1/10 away, okay, then this is you want to focus on the 1/10. Yeah. Okay. So thanks for sharing, Gwen. Okay. I hope everyone, especially viewers out there who is very lost, okay, or who is defeated by their promos, okay, don't give up. Okay, you're halfway there. Okay. So there's another half of the race to complete. Okay. So like what we mentioned earlier on, deliver the contract. This is a 2-year contract, right? Okay, so Gwen, before we move on to the next part, okay, we'll be moving on to her experience with SMU Accountancy and Business. Okay, so this is the next segment. For people who's watching this, if you have questions regarding SMU Accountancy, what is the culture of SMU like? This is the best time, okay, to ask Gwen. Okay, if not, okay, you can drop her a comment. Okay, and I hope I've tagged her in the post, I believe. Okay, maybe she can see that. Okay, but anyway, please make use of this opportunity to ask. So Gwen, okay, share with us your experience in SMU Accountancy.
Okay, so I think
Why
I better
SMU?
put
Why SMU first?
sure. I better put a disclaimer here first. Is that I've only attended one semester in SMU,
Yeah.
so it might not
Under
be
your
a
personal
very,
under your
very
own
good.
personal capacity, yes. Whatever that
Yeah,
you share is under your personal capacity, not on behalf of the school. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we are not endorsed by the school, or school pay us advertisement. Okay, it's all for the community. Okay, so some of my students are asking me, okay, how is the SMU culture like? Okay, this is the best time to get to listen to first hand experience. So Gwen, back to you.
Okay, so why I chose SMU over NUS or NTU? I think firstly because of like for accountancy wise, right? SMU has the most accreditations out of the three
Mm.
schools. Yeah, that's like one of the factors that made me choose SMU Accountancy. And then another factor was like SMU's learning culture and they really focus a lot on like speaking out in class and like a simulation of the real life workplace lah. That's what they advertise themselves, and I guess I bought that. Yeah, so in like for example in my first semester, right, all of my modules I had to do group work. There was definitely a group work present in all of my modules. Yeah, so I really it really opened my eyes lah, that like there's to a like wide range of different types of people. So I really learned how to work with people, and if you're lucky enough, you get good group mates. If you're unlucky, you got to like tank the entire group project yourself. Yeah. I mean, definitely there will be. It's by luck one, really by luck, because a lot of the group projects are pre-assigned by your professors, and even if they aren't pre-assigned, you normally would like because for me, I entered the module with knowing no one, so it was also like even if I had to choose my own group mates, it was also a game of luck. So it really taught me how to interact with people and know how to manage conflict in my own capacity.
Hey, so I would just like to ask, earlier on you mentioned about SMU marketing themselves as, being one of the more practical, hands-on approach. They're all industry practitioners, right? So have they delivered their ad of sharing with you guys real life case studies of how they the work experience they have encountered in any of your modules? Because that was a story that it was sold. So right? I'm just curious to find out that.
Yeah, so that like the way that they teach, right, is definitely different from the other schools. So for my friends from other schools have like lecture and tutorial system. Then their lessons are broken down into 2 parts a week. Whereas for SMU, it will just be 1 3-hour lesson per week. Seminar style learning. Then it will just be a two-way law. Professor contribute, you also contribute. And then I think partly like I chose SMU partly because I wanted to push myself. In JC and even in secondary school, I wasn't very outspoken. I think Mr. Teo can vouch for that. It's very quiet. Then, and then now that I entered SMU, it really forced me to speak up in class, because we have class participation as well. We're graded based on how we contribute in class. And then when you want to contribute in class, it really takes a lot of gut and thick skin to go and say something that you hopefully don't think is sounds stupid. So I think it's a really good opportunity for me to push myself, step out of my comfort zone, and definitely even it's a very close simulation to the workplace as well because in the workplace you have to work with people, you have to voice your thought, and then you also have to learn, I would say. So far I might complain to my friends about school and stuff, but I would say SMU, I've been having some fun there.
Okay, great. Okay, so for the viewers out there, if you have any other questions that you have for SMU Accountancy, you can direct to Gwen. Okay, so Gwen, one last question. Okay, on behalf of some of the students who asked me, what are some of the progression that you have with accountancy degree? What do you aspire to do in the future?
What I aspire to do, I think it's something that I found I'm starting to learn more about myself, is that I mostly might end up being an auditor or something.
Teacher.
Auditing, because
teaching. Okay.
No, auditing.
Auditing, okay. Teaching.
Not teaching. I have no patience.
Okay, auditing. Okay. And why is that so?
I think because just the numbers aspect and the analysis of numbers, right? Like I found out that like even like discussing with my parents, I realized that I actually like to be in control. Like I'll go into panic mode once I feel like I'm not in control. So
Okay.
I think it's very, very good because as an auditor, right, you are the one who is like looking at the balance sheets and you'll be like, hey, this got problem, this got problem. You know, you are the one who's calling the shot. Anything that's off,
Wow.
then you are the one who's like calling people out for it lah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so to whoever that is who is watching out there, okay, if you are someone who has an extreme desire for control,
Control and like structure. Yeah, maybe not control,
maybe
structure.
accountancy is for you. All right. Okay, so I would like to move on. Okay, if there's any other questions, okay, please feel free to direct to Gwen. Okay, so Gwen, and what is one message that you have for AYE juniors, okay, who may be watching this, who will be watching this in the future? And what is your advice, or what is your one message to them?
My advice is to just hold on, 加油. Yeah, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going.
Wow, wow. Hold on, right? So
Just
yes,
hold on, yeah.
just hold on. Just latch
Yeah,
onto
there's
something.
definitely better things to look forward to in life apart from A levels, beyond A
Okay.
levels. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think the theme that we have discussed today is just latch on to what? And latch on to the contract that you have signed for. Okay, 2 years and that's it. Maybe and the boys will probably resonate better. 2 years in army. This is 2 years in JC. Have with your A levels. After that, do your best. Okay, and move on. Right, and hold on to something. And for the students, for the AY students out there, okay, I'm the best person to hold on to. All right. Okay, so that's it. Okay, we have reached the end of the community series. So once again, okay, if you like our what we are doing, okay, please like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to receive latest updates on upcoming events. Okay, so thank you, and I will see you guys again. Say bye.
Bye. Thank you for having me.